Maybe you have like a side gig in addition to your primary work. Blessings that are coming your way. Oh no! Before we get started today, I want to take a moment to acknowledge that this is a difficult and dark time in the world for many of us right now. And I am coming into all of these readings with that understanding and awareness. And nothing that is shared here is intended to mitigate whatever else might be going on in your life at the moment. I see tarot as a way to empower oneself to be able to see things more clearly and know exactly where to take action when maybe the next best step isn't so clear. So with that, we will get into our readings for this month. Thank you. Cancer, welcome to your April reading, but of course this message is for you anytime you might find it. As always, we'll be using our classic Mystic Compass spread, starting here at the north. This card will represent the area of your life that has to do with housing, finances, career, etc. And then we've got an action item to follow. Over here to the east, we've got our thoughts, mindset, focus, dreams, as well as an action item to complement. Down here at the south, we've got our passions, our belief systems, anything that gets us really fired up, that gets us going, and our motivation, as well as a corresponding action item. Over here to the west, we've got our feelings and emotions, anything that is touching us in a deep emotional way, as well as an action item that corresponds. Finally, we've got one card in the center to tie everything together to show us what exactly we are looking at as the main point of the reading of this month and how everything is interconnected. Let us get started to the north with our career, finances, housing, etc. This could also encompass health. Alrighty, Cancer, we've got a great omen for you here. 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles. This is money coming in, Cancer. So this could be a surprise promotion. This could be a surprise bonus, something, but you've got money coming in. A new job opportunity. Maybe you have like a side gig in addition to your primary work. This is all, something is happening here for you. This is awesome. And it might not be money exactly. It might be like a new housing opportunity that is worth more than what you need to pay. So maybe a friend says, hey, do you want to move in with me? And I'll only charge you $500 a month. But really, they would normally charge like $2,000 a month. So it could be something like that too. Something, think creatively about what this means. Let's see, what is your action item in this regard? Knight of Cups. Okay, so we're moving quickly with this. This is something that is going, we're moving, it's fast and slow. So it's a quick moving energy, but because it's still the water element, it's going to be slower by nature. So we're looking at leading with emotion in this regard. So be sure to say thank you for the blessings that are coming your way. Okay, say thank you to the people or person that is bestowing those blessings upon you. Say thank you to the universe, God, spirit. Gratitude is crucial because you want that energy to indicate that you are still open to more coming your way. You acknowledge what has come to you and you want more of it. Okay? With this Knight of Cups, yeah, we're showing gratitude, and we're also seeing like light and dark at the same time. So the money like has come in or is coming in, and it might seem like it's taking a long time. Like maybe you're notified of it on a particular day, but it doesn't actually arrive to you until several weeks or months later. So it might also be slow in that process. But that is still prompting this gratitude exercise, okay? And this is also asking you to think about movement with what you're doing with that money. So, do you already know where that money is going? It would behoove you to put that money back into this area of your life, into your housing, finances, or career. So that might mean putting the money back into things, objects around the house that make it feel like a home to you. It could be something like that. It could also be an opportunity for, if you have a career opportunity in front of you, this could be also putting money back into reinvesting in yourself, in your career path, or additional skills that are helping you along your career path, things like that. Okay. Alrighty, let's see what's happening over to the east. These are things of the mind, your thoughts, dreams, thoughts, dreams, anything that you're keeping your focus on. 8 of Swords. Okay, Cancer, what's going on here? This is allowing too many other outside influences over your thoughts. All right? That's what I'm seeing is going on here. Some of those outside influences are spiritual in nature. Some of those outside influences are religious in nature. Some of them are just, listening to too many people, listening to too many tarot readers and other spiritual people on the internet, instead of really thinking about and considering what are your own personal thoughts and beliefs. So make sure that you're in control of your mind, okay? Don't fall to, just because someone says something on the internet does not mean that it is truth. You have to really think about what's true for you and what you're allowing yourself to believe. Especially in these times, we must be discerning, Cancer. So this is really important for you this month. Let's see what your action item is here to help get us a bit more info. Ooh, Page of Cups. Oh my goodness. So we just had our Knight of Cups up in the north. Now we have our Page of Cups. So there's a lot of emotion happening for you this month, Cancer. Of course, you're a water sign. So with this Page of Cups energy, we're looking at how you communicate your emotions with other people. How is your emotion, are you sharing from a place that you want to be sharing from in your contact with others? Are you speaking the same language that your recipients are speaking? The recipients of your words are speaking. And I don't mean a literal language of English, Spanish, Russian, Portuguese, German. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the language of shared fields of experience. So if you're speaking in a way that someone else has never heard before, how can you expect them to really understand the message and the content of what you're sharing? For example, I have 2 examples. One, on a very literal level, I know someone who has worked in law firms for at least 10 years. And when they speak with their friends, a lot of times those other friends who've never worked in a law firm setting before perceive this person to be elitist or not speaking in normal talk, in normal language. But that's just how this person talks, because they've been in a law firm setting. So they grew their vocabulary and they grew their way of presenting themselves in that type of setting. where they needed to present themselves in a certain way to demonstrate competence, intelligence, etc. But their friends who work in other industries, who are not familiar with that way of speaking and with carrying oneself, think that this person is being pretentious. But really the person is just using proper grammar and thinking in a way that is connecting dots and constructing things in their mind in order to better understand social situations. So that's one example where this person isn't doing anything wrong by speaking the way that they're speaking, how they learned in their career in law firms, but other people from other industries don't see it that way. Friends don't see it that way, and have a difficult time grasping really truly what it is the person is saying. So it causes some conflict in those friendships at times. Another example, I said I had two, would be that if you are someone who likes to do everything, it's kind of the reverse of that experience, but a little bit different. If you're someone who likes to have very informal connections with people and very informal agreements, let's say you have a healing business and you like to contract different vendors to come in and do things with your healing business, but maybe you're just starting out, or maybe you've just like never seen the need to have written contracts with people. Maybe it's all word of mouth. And then if you have someone there who values a written contract, then that person might not appreciate the very informal nature of communicating and of having these agreements without having them in writing. So those are two examples. It doesn't have to be in the workplace. It could be in other areas as well. But the whole point here is that we're thinking about how we're communicating and whether or not we're speaking the same language as other people. Another example that's nothing to do with workplace relations, but although it could be applied there, is for people that are autistic. They often have a very specific and particular way of understanding the world around them. And each individual person is different and unique, so this isn't going to be true for all autistic people, but a lot of autistic people take words very literally, and if they're speaking with someone else who uses a lot of colloquialisms and colloquial phrases, they might not really understand what it is that the person's saying. And that goes for any language. And so the only one I can think of is in Spanish, the only phrase. And one of those colloquial phrases is pan comido. And that means, the literal translation is bread eaten, or eaten bread. And the understanding of that phrase is that it means that you are, that like what's done is done. Like it's something that's accomplished, or easy as pie. Okay, like something is done, it's accomplished, it's easy. Like, you know, you're in a conversation, you say, like, I already know I'm getting this job, es pan comido. Like, I already know I'm getting it, it's done, it's eaten bread, I got it. But if you're speaking with someone who doesn't understand that phrase, or even maybe speaks a different dialect of Spanish where they don't use that phrase, because there are a lot of places where they don't use that phrase, this is a very Spanish phrase, then you could like totally the person could be totally misunderstanding what is the point. So if you have an autistic person or someone that just doesn't understand the phrase pan comido, they're gonna say, eaten bread? Where's the bread coming from? Why is the bread eaten? And they're gonna have questions about the bread rather than questions about the actual subject that you're trying to relay. So that's an example of these miscommunications. and not letting too many other people be influencing your communication to the point that you're not understandable by others. Let's see what we have for you, Cancer, down here at the south. This is your connection to the divine, spirit, God, goddess, the universe, etc. Oh my goodness, we have our Queen of Wands. Woo! So we're really doubling down here on that spirit realm, on that fire element, because the swords represent the fire element. So with our Queen of Wands down here, we are looking at a matriarchal society. I know this is a hot button topic recently of late. But this card is really beautiful because it's asking us to look at what it would be like for women to rule the planet, especially in terms of spirituality. So what female or femme identifying spiritual figures are you connecting with? Are you connecting with Kali? Are you connecting with Durga? Are you connecting with Morgan Le Fay? Are you connecting with La Llorona? Who are you connecting with, and why? And just see what they have in store for you. If you're not already doing that, or if you are already doing that, it's an invitation to dive deeper into that work. Let's see what's your homework assignment here, Cancer. 10 of Pentacles. Whee! We are playing games. We are being strategic in terms of our spirituality. So what lessons can spirituality teach us? And what can we really learn from spirituality that we can't learn from other paths, other sources? What can spirituality teach us about past strategies that were played out in various cultures? That is part of the homework assignment for you, Cancer. Let's take a look over at the West and see where our emotions are this month. Oh no, we've got our 10 of Swords. Cancer, a lot of you are being plagued with depression, anxiety, overthinking, and also including the thoughts of other people and being worried about just having worry and fear, being worried about what other people are thinking about you. Oh no, this is so sad. And that's really impacting your emotions. Like maybe, and this fear and worry and anxiety and depression is impacting your state of being emotionally. Let's see what your action item is here, because I'm curious to see how we're going to work through this. Strength. Okay, Cancer, this is a big pinnacle moment for you in life, because this is a time when you're being asked to face those difficulties head on. And you will win, but you really are being asked to take heed of what strength you have internally yourself and how that's going to help you out here. And it's not up to anyone else. This is something that you have to do yourself, although you can look to others for inspiration on how they have done so. Coming back to that spiritual community of like the games and the logic, go back and look and see how different goddesses throughout time and throughout different cultures have handled such situations and difficulties in their own lives. And that will also be able to give you some inspiration of how to work through this on an emotional level. I know this is a really hard time emotionally for a lot of people, but including and especially you this month, from what I'm seeing here in the cards. So just take it day by day and really take care of yourself and know that there is hope on the other side. Let's see what your final card is, tying everything together for this month, Cancer. The Devil. Cancer, we've got temptation on our hands. The devil here is representing mischief, temptation, addiction at times. So what temptation or mischief or addiction is coming your way? It's going to be different for each individual person. But what I want us to remember is, now that we know it's coming and we're aware of it, we have the power to change our responses to it. So if you know it's coming, you are more prepared to not let it take you down. Lean into the things that you know are fulfilling on an emotional and spiritual level for you at this time. Even though I know you're going through this difficult emotional time, Cancer, you could find spiritual fulfillment in maintaining daily spiritual practices such as meditation, yoga, breath work, extremely helpful practices such as those. Also finding community, finding others that are also in this strategy game with you on your team is also very important. You can also think about and take an inventory of what has worked for you in the past versus things that have not worked for you in the past. What are things that you've never tried before that you would like to? And just be aware of whatever that temptation is. The temptation could be, getting back together with an abusive ex. It could be substance use. It could be just falling into old patterns, old ways of thought, depression, things like that. And it does not have to be that way. So that is, this is going to be a huge month for you, Cancer, to really pivot. And we started out with a great omen here with these blessings, tangible blessings that are coming your way. There's just some refinement to happen here. And, with those blessings, there could be a temptation to maybe spend all of your money in ways that are not helpful to you long term. So maybe instead of spending on a bunch of new clothes that you don't really need, maybe save or invest. We've talked about investing before. There's a link in the description below for an investing program that I highly recommend because everybody should be investing. And especially with these 2 separate Pentacles cards that have come out for you this month, that's something that I would definitely recommend. Investing in your health, your finances, your wellness, and your career, but then also investing in your spirituality. These are all things that are important for you this month, Cancer. Hold on, we got this. We are in this together. Okay, thank you so much, Cancer. I will see you next time. Bye. Please be sure to check out your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for a fuller picture of your month ahead. Thank you. Bye.